The Royal Rumble is in just 4 days, and the rumour mill has suddenly exploded in and around one particular name. Former WrestleMania main eventer, the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, is suddenly on the tip of everyone's tongue, and the word on the streets is that she could be returning just in time for the Royal Rumble. Hi everyone, I'm Tom Colohue, and I break down the news here without hyperbole or clickbait. I want to work out exactly what is happening so that I can share it with you, and if that's something you support, click subscribe now as we continue to grow. We also do live shows where we had news about Becky Lynch returning before anyone else did, and of course, just a week ago, we had this exact Ronda Rousey news before anyone else did. So let's break down the timeline, let's break down what happened, hit like, hit subscribe. Let's talk about whether we're going to see Ronda Rousey or not. Now, the first report about this was my own from just over a week ago and reiterated again last Friday, 5 days ago, during YouTube and Twitch live streams here on the Tom Colohue channels. Subscribe for more of those. In that live stream, I was asked a question about Ronda Rousey appearing in the Royal Rumble, and I discussed the possibility of that. The news as I have heard it as regards Ronda Rousey is that the WWE are very interested, very eager to get this over the line, and have been in constant contact with Ronda Rousey about this. It is apparently Rousey herself who is not 100% certain. As soon as she is willing to put pen to paper, they have the storyline ready and waiting to go. On Monday, 3 days after my report, a report behind the Fightful Select paywall stated that Ronda Rousey could be coming back to the WWE and that the WWE were pushing to make this happen, very, very similar to my report. This was then followed by Brian Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer saying Ronda Rousey is going to be in the Royal Rumble. Now, there's been more details that have come out since, including lots of details about meetings that have been taking place at Titan Towers and, of course, at Ronda Rousey's home. There has been lots of talk about her stylist, for example, and her makeup artist being available and on location for the Royal Rumble. But let's talk about what the plan would be for a moment, because the WWE's intention, if Ronda Rousey signs on that dotted line, is to have her return into the Royal Rumble or at the Royal Rumble. She would be taking on Becky Lynch at WrestleMania and likely winning the championship, holding it for a Roman Reigns style period of time. Ronda Rousey's initial contract with the WWE was supposedly 3 years. However, and this is something that I myself reported in June of that year, Ronda Rousey was only ever prepared to work the 12 months between WrestleMania 34 and WrestleMania 35. This was, of course, the period that she worked. At the time, I was shouted down by the same journalists who are now reporting behind paywalls what I've already said. Ronda Rousey is likely to sign. Based on the reports out there at the moment, multiple different sources saying so, Ronda Rousey is likely to sign and appear in some capacity at the Royal Rumble. With that in mind, betting has been suspended on Ronda Rousey on a number of different betting websites, because if she's in the Rumble, you've got to believe she's going to win it. Not long after it was announced that Mickie James was going to enter the Royal Rumble, I was specifically told and reported on this YouTube channel that the WWE felt they had a bigger surprise in store. The WWE at the moment still have spaces available to fill for a 30-women Rumble. There are going to be fitness tests for Bayley and Sasha Banks, there is a planned return for Asuka, and there is a strong possibility of an appearance for Alexa Bliss, though they don't necessarily want to throw her in at the deep end with her character not quite fully formed at this time. Should Ronda Rousey return, it would be once again to the Raw brand, with Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan and the like going up against her. Keep an eye out also for Raquel Gonzalez to be appearing on Raw, basically to give Ronda Rousey someone to work with. The idea then, of course, would be that Roman Reigns style championship reign in which Ronda Rousey is a champion for a prolonged period of time with a very, very interwoven series of challenges. SmackDown, meanwhile, will get a few new names, but wouldn't really go much further. There is also a hope among some that this would revitalise Shayna Baszler, with the possibility of a Ronda Rousey-Shayna Baszler feud somewhere down the line. Personally, My excitement would be for that, and would also be for Ronda Rousey versus Sonya Deville, more so than, for example, Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, which we've already seen. I do want to get that match against Becky out of the way though. For me, that's a big one and a real missed opportunity from the WWE. Let me know who you think the surprises are going to be for the Royal Rumble. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like the video and hit subscribe as we continue to chase that 1,000 subscribers. And check out a live show every now and then, because you're going to hear a lot of news that you'll be paying for in the days afterwards. My name is Tom Colohue. I've been Tom Colohue. You've been fantastic, and I'll see you all very soon.